How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a commando, mercenary, commando, Deadeye, mercenary, Deadeye, commando, Psy-Freak, saboteur, sentinel, Saboteur, Psy-Freak, Deadeye, Mercenary, Mercenary, Deadeye, Commando, Psy-Freak, Saboteur, Sentinel, Saboteur, Deadeye, Deadeye, Commando, Deadeye, Deadeye chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and bright side of you, or your inner voice to be precise. An echo of balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
That's right. Light is only for those having difficulty seeing what's in front of them. Sticking to the me first path is the only way we'll be going places.
I'm surprised at the change of heart. I believe in putting yourself aside to help others, but helping the dark side is not that, you know.
You can't fight who you really are. The blood is obviously running red in our veins.
You're trying to keep us in the dark here, but you know it's blue blood in our veins and what it means. We have responsibilities. You can't fight the truth.
Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the Predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. Nice shot. Tap hard. Goodbye. Grab and pull. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Wow, that's good stuff. At least you're not coming out of this empty-handed. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Globs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Pow! Don't slip. Toxanol built vessels called arcs to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single arc they left behind that we know other arcs traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. No match. Chop it. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. You should be able to use that. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just... He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back. But he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to... You handle that. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that... Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so countless heat. One. Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your own eyes, from this day on, he'll make nurturing the pensai. One day, the land won't. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of... He says the tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Feels good on you? Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He can't understand why you'd do such a thing. He won't make it out of here on his own.
Good work, clever clogs. Let me guide you into the dark.
Seriously? I always thought better of you than that.
And you were wrong. There's always more dark than light.
There's still time to turn back.
They're already heading down my road.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe. The Myriad. Regardless of who you... The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance. He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit. And Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the only way the world can be saved, but they've been forced to focus on their... Out of... Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war, or part of the problem. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Cautions you that the Sifu may be a little impatient today, as bad news has just come in from the front line.
Zata is de moi tot logo. Kariesne statse. Paro, ya put.
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just... He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves, to find ourselves. But he's glad you chose to come here. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweet. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side. He wasn't sure you'd do that, but it seems your mind took control of that big heart of yours. That's a sign of strength. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants to deal with first is the Myriad tribe. The Jagni's destiny is to do what others are too afraid to do, to vanquish past and future. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. They have no intention of letting this drag out, or they'll run the risk of teaching the enemy their art of war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Perfetta. Ale, ivezjeti rekli dekli.
Even if you see the world differently, you must hit them as soon and as hard as you can.
Nezdatsne okoni. Ale, nalest stari dat.
Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to win.
Nalest stari dat.
Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin.
Vusesi nalest stari dat. Nezdatsne okoni.
The only kin who count are the...
O?
Seeing you brings back his memories of the...
Zum ilem dat nete. Mali muzamit.
Jackney doesn't want a new unit.
Del novasi ale dlohodo inatovo.
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it.
Od lisen in Nyobain. Skuni zata.
Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost.
Karies nezdatse. Yeti rekli.
It's always the little things you remember, and with... The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Let's see. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurled. Smart foe would leave now. Cutting edge. Sharpening of the mind. You don't have the key energy. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's no better... He says that wasn't too bad, was it? He says a feeling that... But you need practice. Lots of practice. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you... You can never try too hard. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedicated... You should know. Practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. She'll see you at the village square. She'll be waiting for you. There will be a surprise. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. It's your own future. You should look for things that are recent. He wonders what usefulness you found. He can work... That's the spirit. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft it. He appreciates those able... He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent... She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He's not scared of anything, least of all you. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. Nobody can tell him. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She's there for all disciples. The most important thing is that you're okay. It's time to focus on your training now. She suggests. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know. He heard you helped Gizmo. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He'll talk to her, sure. He's curious to see what you've found. He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upsize.
Seta in ya. Sem
The style.
und Wakshandonanenya.
You should take it
Sirka fule from the horse.
here.
Gurududua.
Kanaruta.
Your Muma says it's about time you got it.
Kialdo male kanarut kuri kumbalamua. Asil natu.
She says she is eager,
Ariaroche nui mumera. Kamonu.
but there's enough time.
Andro?
Wants you to prove.
Andro?
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Kodotuku.
That's
Pala. Kanamunta.
been working on.
Kodotuku. Asadu. Sana yote.
That's why you should be. Catchy.
Inyavaldo.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as.
Urasa durut. Kodotuku.
Figuring that out is.
Ferena masalapu. Vakanaruta.
It's called a.
Asil natu. Pendrine senema.
Your Muma says you look.
Dropalu. Asana
Rest,
yotutupu.
and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Rumalu.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come.
Asana yotutupu.
He wants to destroy.
Kamonu. Sana yot. Andro?
She tells.
Rumblene marsemandu.
Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity, when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. Middle-lifed. Feeling so much better. They've received news a Ronin joined the tribe's rank.
Faye yubu.
You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost.
Peruhoyu peruavbe.
Mercy is for the weak. The
Wa sula karaktunub.
Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Look, an emergency box from the old days, when you needed to pack a punch to survive. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. What a bruiser! Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Oh! Power up. clothes make you look unnaked. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. The Toxanol Corporation made this place. There must be a... This might be the end of everything as we know it. A flush seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush stool. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. You'd think this place would be crawling with worms. Let's see. future you can use that, but not you now. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Good hit. Pang pang. Maxed out on energy. It's okay to smile at the growing light.
Lema.
This one seems to be in good spirits despite being
Waxandonia inan mahamat. Jamakuda hogedatunka. Lema. Usta bala. Jamakuda hogedatunka.
is surprised you chose not to help. Feeling good is not the...
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong.
Don't ever
Even the dark knows you're better than this.
stick with me. We'll rule the world.
That's a myriad tribe outpost. Killed that one. The deep cut. Nice work. Says you're silly for not grabbing it. Wouldn't be so... Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. The Vespidat outpost, long-time home of the Myriad tribe. Says you need to hit them where it hurts, inflict as much suffering as possible, and make it clear your tribe is a terror to their existence. Murder and mayhem and other terrible things. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. Spot, wrecked it. Give those twirly wheels a turn. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Yes, the river tub's going down the drain. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. Says they've been treated fair, but is glad to see you. Hopes you'll treat the rivals with the same respect they treated them. Grateful that you're willing to move past it. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. Red means danger. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it, kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the tribe's weapon. Says you're lucky to have the honor. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict. Your positive outlook on life might be just what the Jack... But... that's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porky-Puff needs to be handled. He said...
Shintuata moti huasa.
Oh.
It's a brand new day. Squawks at you for being a Jagni blood relative who wastes time rebuilding nests that need burning.